Hello everyone, just doing a quick tutorial again. Um, so, okay, this is... I usually don't play gacha games besides Genshin Impact. And this game obviously has a lot of similarities to Genshin Impact in terms of how you upgrade stuff, but it has some fundamental differences. And one of the things that got me very confused initially was the artifact system equivalent in this game. And I'm just going to do this quick video just to explain a few things that I think some people may also find confusing. And also to try and explain how you can actually
What should we do today?
do a few improvements on your builds. Let's take Nanally for example.
Your back, you won't have to worry about a thing.
If I don't know if the meta in this game considers critical rate and critical damage as being the golden standard to have as in Genshin Impact, but I'm assuming so. I haven't done a lot of tests with damage, but it's safe to assume so. Okay. My Nanally actually hits pretty hard at level 50 right now. So a few of the things that I wanted to talk about. I mean, the weapon is pretty straightforward. It is exactly the same as Genshin. So you have the main stat of the weapon. You have weapons that have kind of skills specifically for the character, or mostly adapted to the characters, and you can upgrade the skill part of it by getting 4 dupes of the same weapon. So you can get it to tier 5, the same as in Genshin basically. So I won't touch on that, but what got me confused a lot was this. Okay, and so this is where I wanted to actually talk about a few things. So one thing about this is that you can imagine all these small pieces as small version of artifacts in Genshin Impact in comparison. Okay, and this piece here, the actual cartridge, is just a general main piece that gives you the most stats. That's basically it. So big artifact, small artifacts, right? So the big artifact, you actually do want the artifact correspondent to your character, the artifact that is better for your characters. There are some characters that do well with some different cartridges, but they all have a best one. Take Nanally for example. Her best is Fireflies and the Forest, because it gives her if you do have this pieces here with these shapes in the mix here of pieces, it gives her 2 of them gives her 10% anima damage, which is her element or type. And if you have the 4 pieces, the combination of these 4 pieces, it increases the character's crit damage when an enemy takes anima damage. So it's a good effect, and it can stack up to 7 times, so that's really good. So try and go for the combination of the 4 if you can. And you can search online. I won't go into it right now, but you can search online what the best main artifact, so to speak, or cartridge is for each character. So this was not what I wanted to specifically talk about, but one of the main things is this. So if you go to this and you have it selected, as you can see here, you have the main attribute, and this basically works mostly as Genshin. where you have the main attribute, which is the one that when you raise the level of the artifact or cartridge, the main attribute goes up with level. The small attributes, these, don't go up by level. So whatever you have here, when you get the piece, so I got this piece have these stats, these substats here, and these are locked. Okay, so when you level it up, you only unlock them to get their effect. At level 5 you get the first one, at level 10, 15 and 20 you get each one individually unlocked, but they don't go up in value. The only thing that goes up in value is the main attribute. And one difference from a Genshin artifact is also that whatever main attribute you have here, you can actually also have as a sub attribute added to it. So I can have critical damage here plus a critical damage substat. I don't know if I have any here like that. No. Mine are pretty bad. Oh, here. So this one has a main attribute of critical rate, and you have critical rate additionally as a substat. So don't like take that in consideration, right? So besides that, then you have the pieces. So how do the pieces work? So besides doing the main combination, the pieces actually have different values. If they're a 4 piece, a formino, let's say, if they're a domino, if they're a trimino or whatever this is called, I don't know, they do have different values. So let's say this here has a substat of critical damage, as you see here. Critical damage is 3.2, right? On a 2 piece. So on a 3 piece, it's 4.8. So not only the substat, the value of the substat is bigger if the piece is bigger, but also the value also is bigger if the rarity of the piece is bigger, right? Okay, so that's one thing to have in consideration. Another thing to have in consideration is one thing that I realized a little bit late, which is taking this into consideration, so getting these 4 types of pieces, then you can organize the rest of the space as you see fit. Obviously, if you can put the bigger pieces, the better. But if you're going to have missing spaces, it's better to fill the whole grid if you can. Okay, so for example, here I have 2 3-piece plus a 2-piece, right? It might have been better in substats. I would have to check, but it might have been better to have 2 4 pieces here straight instead of 2 3 pieces and a 1 2 piece. I would actually have to check. So for example, this is 4% critical damage, right? So 4% critical damage. Let me see a 4-piece. Let me see a 4-piece up. How much critical damage it has. So 640, right? So that's 1.6 difference. So I would get 3.2 critical damage more from the 2 pieces. 3.2 critical damage, and this piece is 4. So actually no, it wouldn't be better to have only 2 4 pieces. It's actually better to have these 3 pieces and these 2 pieces. It would give me most overall of a stat. Anyways, that would still be something to kind of test a little bit, but yeah, So what I wanted to talk about this actually, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit lost here, is that, okay, so let's say you have these this piece with this shape, right? The trimino kind of L shape or something. Okay, these all have two critical stats, so I can't kind of make the... Okay, let's take these two pieces here. So I don't have critical damage and critical rate on this. I only have critical damage, right? And the critical damage is 3.2 on a purple rarity. Let's say I have this purple rarity here, 3.2, but now I search and I have a blue rarity. Let me just get the blues. Sorry, this. I don't think I have any blue rarity with this is a poor example. This, okay, this works also. I can do it with this because I do have purples here that also will have critical damage, I'm pretty sure. So see here I have a gold module with 4 critical damage, right? But I don't have critical rate on it. So optimally, I guess it would be better to have critical rate on it, right? So even though this is a gold piece, if I get a purple piece that has both, like this, for example. So this has because it's a lower rarity, it has 3.2 critical damage. This is lower than this piece in total, but it has 1.6 critical rate. Okay. So, and actually a better substat also additionally to the critical rate and critical damage. So I would rather have a lower rarity piece than this, because although I lose 0.8 critical damage, I get 1.6 critical rate additionally. And I think that would be more valuable overall, losing 0.8 critical damage to gain 1.6 critical rate. So sometimes, just because this is a rare piece, let's say this rare piece, because I do have a few, not this one, but for example on the least invested ones, for example this piece, see, this is a gold piece of this shape that has absolutely no crit stats. It has a flat defense stat, which I don't think the character needs. It has no crit stats. I would rather have a lower so what shape it? Okay. So this stat, even if I take it to level 20, which is not at the moment, it would only unlock the stats. Even if this was at level 20, I would rather have this in this spot, because I do have 2.4 critical rate, 4.8 critical damage on this, plus the cycle intensity and attack, which is better. It's a little bit less attack than this piece, but I mean, it's like the rarity thing may lead you to put only gold pieces as soon as you get them. Oh, because it's a gold piece, but it doesn't matter. It's most likely preferable to have lower pieces. For example, I had a purple piece for here. I had a purple piece for here. Oops. Which I actually traded in for blue pieces because they gave me stats that I actually wanted. Right? So that's, Jesus Christ, that's what I wanted to say. So don't focus on the rarity of the pieces. Obviously, a better rarity of the same piece will have overall better stats in terms of the quantity of stat. It will be higher, but if they have sucky stats, it doesn't matter at all. Also, one thing to take note, not in the domino pieces, but on this piece, that, for example, for this person, I don't have a good piece for her. I do have critical damage and critical rate here, but for example, the main attribute, which is the most important, basically like a Genshin Impact artifact, sucks, because mental damage bonus, which is not her stat, right? So this is useless here. I would say that it would be better to get a piece, even if the smaller stats are not as good. Get a piece that has a better main attribute, if you have it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. So we can. I already have some decent builds. Yeah, that's about it. Stay safe, guys, and have a nice one. Bye bye.